Have you ever been in the position where you want feedback on your music, but you have no idea where to go? And do you feel like you've tried everything to get feedback on your music, but it still doesn't help enough? Do you feel like you've read countless and countless of web pages of where to send your music to and it still didn't work? Yeah, I've been there. In fact, let me tell you a little bit about what happened. I was searching on Google and I went on and attempted another search in the Google search engine. The question I typed into Google was how to get feedback on your music. I didn't expect to find anything. My hopes weren't that high. So I went to countless and countless and countless web pages, but didn't find anything other than what I already knew, like post your stuff on SoundCloud, post your stuff in Facebook groups, post it on Instagram, post it here, post it there. But that literally didn't do anything. All it did, if it got any traction at all, was somebody writing, "Great track, nothing more." Or, "No, not good, nothing more." So I didn't expect much. Then after, I think, 45 minutes or something of searching, I stumbled across this page and it had those suggestions also in there. And at the bottom somewhere, I saw a website called Audiu. I was like, Audiu? Never heard of it. Not gonna check it out. Kept searching. Didn't find anything. Then I found another webpage. And this time, Audiu was the first on the list of suggestions. I was like, no, this has to be bogus. This can't be real. But then I was like, well, what do I have to lose? So I went on and I checked the website and I signed up for an account. And I started using it. I must tell you, after using it for a week, I'm actually very impressed. And that's why it led me to do this review, because I looked on YouTube and I couldn't find somebody that reviewed the platform, because I know how it feels that when you see a website, you want to know if it's real or not, right? You want to know, is it worth my time? And that is what I am hoping to answer for you in this video. So what we're going to do today is a Audiu review. I'm going to show you and tell you what this platform is about. And then you can decide for yourself if the platform is for you or not. Before we start the review, I want to say, if you do not want to spend time interacting with the platform and interacting with the people that are on there, this website isn't for you. If you think you can just post your song or your instrumental and be done with it, no, that is not how it works. If that's what you're looking for, then I'd suggest looking at another video. But if you do want to invest time and want to spend time with the people in the community and helping others out, and also get feedback on your own instrumentals or your songs, then this place is definitely for you. Because that, my friends, is Audiu in a nutshell. And how it works, that's what I'm going to tell you right now. So, what is Audiu? Audiu is a place where producers, artists, promoters, engineers, and music lovers connect. And what the people that are on this platform want to achieve, they want feedback on their music. Think about it. Feedback on your music is key to grow. Whether you're making songs or you're producing beats or whether you're mixing, you want feedback on what you made. And that's exactly what this platform does. There are a couple of neat things that they've implemented to keep everything fair and organized. And there are two ways of getting your music reviewed on Audiu. The first one is getting your music into the feedback stream. I'll talk about that later. The second way of getting your feedback on a track or instrumental is by asking a pro to review your track. And these pros have various options to a short review to a full-on review. And I would really recommend a full review if you ask a pro to review your music, but of course that's up to you, but that's what I think. Those are the two ways of getting feedback on your music. Now, let's dive into how the feedback stream exactly works and how you get your music on Audiu. Right, let's dive into it. So right here you can see that I have the Audiu website open right now. What you see in front of you here is the people that I have connected with. And then if you connect with people, you can see their work in your network. That's basically what you're doing. So you're also networking with all these people on Audiu. And the people you network with, you see their music on your homepage, so to speak. I'm not going to show you how to set up an account. What I will show you is my profile. I click on my name and I click on profile. It's very easy. All you do is you fill in your details, you create an account, and then after you've done that, you can start setting up your page. You can actually put your banner up there that you maybe use for your YouTube channel or your SoundCloud, and then you can start writing a little bit about yourself and what your goals are, and then you can tell people what kind of music you make. That happens if you click on your music tab, then you see you can add your creative skills, you can add your affiliations. I haven't done all that yet, but that's where you can fill that in. You can set your language that you speak. I speak English and Dutch, and the DAWs that I use is Kaka's Reaper and FL Studio, and these are all my ways to connect. So if you set all this up, this is how this will look. So it looks very professional, and if you click on this last tab, gear here, then it also shows what kind of DAWs you use here, and you can also tell people what plugins you use, and you can also tell people what kind of hardware you have. So that is how a profile page can look. I'm going to assume you have set up your account. So what is your next step? Well, you want your music heard, don't you? So what you do is you click on the projects tab here. Then you see I have a couple of projects here. Now you can also get fancy and you can use different artwork, but since this is only for feedback, I just use my profile picture as artwork. I don't really mind, but you can. Let's create a new project, and then I'm going to show you what is so cool about this. Or actually, I cannot show you, but you go here and then you simply drag your file in here, and then it starts uploading. So after you have uploaded your track, or after you've dragged it in, this screen is what you'll get. Now we have a couple of options here. You can tell Audiu what the progress is of the track. Let me tell you why this is handy. So here you can tell Audiu in which state your project is in. Now, this is handy because if we want feedback, and let's say, for instance, my track would be a work in progress, or a track that you're giving feedback on. If it's a work in progress, there's no reason to talk about the mix yet. And I mean, we could talk about basic sound, but there's no reason to talk about mixing if it's only work in progress. Say that everything is recorded, then somebody might put it in the state of this version is finished. And if you notice, it says version. It does that because, say you uploaded a track first and it was a work in progress. Then you can go back to the track, and I'm not going to do it, but you can click here and you can upload a new version. And then you can put it from work in progress into finished. Or say it's finished, then you put it in the mix. Then you click on this project is mixed. And then you can slowly but surely get your project into its final stage. And why that is handy, that you can tell which state the track is in, then the community knows where they should give feedback on. That's the whole reason why that is there. And I think this is a very neat feature, because then you don't overwhelm people with stuff that they don't want to know yet, and you have a idea of what you need to give feedback on. So I think that is really nice. And I also like the fact that you can simply upload revisions. Say people would click on the bell here, then they can follow your track for updates. So if you then would upload a new version, then they would get an email notification saying that the track is updated. So that is also super handy, because then people can check back on the track and maybe give additional / new feedback. So I think that is really cool. So now that I've showed you how to upload your track, and that you can select which state your project is in, don't forget that, because that is really important. Then we need to talk about how you get feedback here. So let's talk about the first way, and that is the feedback stream. So let me go back to the home page, and I'm going to click on the feedback stream. You see right here, I'm going to click on the go button. Here you see that it's telling you viewing 1 to 10 suggestions for you. You can simply listen through these and give feedback. And what you also can do is click on see all genres, and then you can select a genre that you like and a genre that you want to give feedback on. This is really cool because I'm a guy that makes hip hop and rap music. So I technically want to listen to hip hop and rap music. So that's where most of my feedback will be going towards. That's not to say that I never react on other genres, because I also like a fair share of pop. I don't want to make it myself, but it's cool to hear material from other people. So that is really cool, and I like that. So you can choose to go in here and you can give feedback on these 10, or you can click your genre, whatever you want. The way to get your songs into this feedback stream is to have at least 10 points. I'll get into the point system in a bit, but no, you need 10 points. How you gain points is by, I'm going to play a second so that I can show you what you can do. All right. There are 7 categories you can rate a track in. I am not going to read them all, but you can read them for yourself. You can say what's appropriate for each category. So say you like the character and sound choices, you click the thumbs up, and so forth. If you do this, you gain 1 point. Now remember, I said you need 10 points in order for your music to show in the feedback stream. All you would have to do is rate 10 tracks and be done, right? Well, you can, but in my opinion, that's not how Audiu works. What you can also do, which you can see here underneath, is you can leave a comment, and somebody did in this instance. Now, as you can see, it's a relatively long comment, right? It's more than what you might be used to with the good track, good song, bad song, not good. Let's see what happens if I try and type good song in here. Whoops, my comment won't send because it needs to be over 5 words. What that means is that Audiu wants to keep the comment section at a very high quality. So that means you don't get the standard answers. You really have to type a detailed description of what you mean in order for the comment to go through. And yes, you can type 5 words and be done with it. But as you'll interact with the platform, you'll see that most people actually write very detailed feedback and they use a lot of words. That is why I said it's important to tell the community which state your track is in. Because if you take a look at the comment section here, if you click it, you can choose to give a general comment, or you can go into categorized. And then you can again choose one of these categories, and then you click on one of those, and then you will write your comment. Which category it's in, it's indicated by the color next to the comment. So that way the person knows what you're commenting on. Of course, they already know by what you type, but they can also see it by the color that the comment has. There's like this kind of square that's next to the comment in a certain color, and then people know what you gave feedback on. This is also really handy because, that gives you an indication of what the person means if it wasn't clear already. The reason why I told you about the comment section is the following thing. If your comment gets upvoted by another user, you gain another 10 points. Now, that's not to say that you just can spam random stuff, and then hope that your comment gets upvoted. You came to Audiu because you want feedback on your music. Remember, other people want feedback too. So the best way to go about this is look at the state the track is in, be as detailed and credible as you can. Don't say it's a good song when you don't feel like it's a good song. I'm not saying that. I'm saying be as detailed as you can be. Tell people what they can improve, in your opinion. And also, be respectful. But if you feel like things aren't right, you should say that, because that helps that person get further in their career. Why I'm saying this, if you give more feedback to other people and you really spend time with this platform, other people will see that you interact with others. And they'll be like, oh, okay. This guy seems like the real deal. And he really gives a shit about other people's stuff. And he really engages with other people. Or she, of course. And then, guess what? Maybe they'll check out your stuff by clicking on your profile and then seeing your music. Maybe if you give some really useful feedback, maybe they'll upvote your comment. And then you already have 10 points. And I'm not saying that you should comment to get points, but I mean, if you're being credible and honest, those 10 points aren't even a problem. And in my opinion, it shouldn't even be about the points. Because if you genuinely enjoy helping others progress with their art, then it shouldn't be a problem for you. Actually, it should be fun. So that is what I like so much about this platform. People are so genuine about stuff. And no, it's not always fun to read when somebody doesn't like your stuff. But they are real and they are genuine. And I have never seen somebody who was really unkind in the comments. In fact, even though they might say that something is wrong in their opinion or could be better, they still are always like, keep pushing, you got this. That's basically how Audiu works. If you give feedback, you get feedback. That's Audiu in a nutshell. And yes, you have a leaderboard and you can see, if I scroll down and I'll show you right now, like the top contributor or from yesterday is Hector. Really great guy, by the way. He always gives very good feedback. That's cool and all, having a leaderboard. And it's fun because, I see it as fun because then all right, those people really interact with it. Because as well as, why that point system is there too? To keep out people that spam their music. Because you cannot get your music heard if you don't spend time on the platform and helping others too. So people that would just upload their music and don't do anything else, their music wouldn't even be heard. So that automatically keeps the spam off the platform. And, only people that really invest time in Audiu and in themselves and others get their music heard. And in fact, it should be others and yourself, but you get what I mean. That is the way to get your music into the feedback stream and getting feedback and giving feedback to other creators. The second way of getting feedback is by using pro feedback. The way you do this is clicking on the pro feedback, and then you see all these people here. And you can see what kind of genres they specialize in. And you can also see their rates. Now, I feel like I don't have to say this, but I am going to. Choose a guy or a girl that, has specialization in your genre, because otherwise it's useless, right? You can do that by simply scrolling through here, or you can click on the genre field and you can choose. So in my case, I chose hip hop and more results popped up. Okay, so you can scroll through this page all you want. And as you can see, the rates from pro to pro varies. Let's say you found a pro that fits your budget and it's also specialized in the genre that you're interested in or what you're making or producing. You can choose for short feedback or you can choose detailed feedback. A quick thing I want to mention here, in my opinion, if you want to get pro feedback, I would always go for the full feedback, because if you're going to pay for feedback, why not immediately go for the full feedback? Unless, of course, you might want to send in a project that hasn't finished yet. But that's completely up to you, but I would always choose a finished product to get full feedback on. Now, let me show you what it looks like. So if I go to my orders, and I go to completed orders, and I go to view. Here on the screen, you can see the feedback that I cannot read your name right now. Sorry, man, but I'm far away from the screen right now. But anyway, you can see what the person that gave me feedback wrote on the screen right now. And as you can see, I chose a full review of the song because I can. It's very detailed, so I'm not going to read it, but you can read it yourself, and in my opinion, that's very detailed. One thing I forgot to mention is that if you go to feedback and you found the person that you want feedback from, you can also click on examples. And then you can open one of these, then you can see what kind of feedback that person gives you. And then you can see if that person, is something for you. So that's what they do as well. They give you an option to look at the pro's history, and you can see if you like the way that that pro approaches their submissions that they get for pro feedback. So I think that is also a really neat feature. The reason why you might want to get pro feedback is, think about it this way. Say you have a song that you've gotten feedback on from the feedback stream and it's been helpful, but you feel like you need a little bit more feedback on it from somebody that might know a little bit more about the genre, or if you feel like that maybe that person can give you new insights, or maybe because that person knows a little bit more about mixing or mastering. Basically that is when I think that pro feedback can be useful. If you have used the feedback stream but you feel like you still need a little bit more feedback, then it's definitely worth it to consider pro feedback. The other reason why you might want to use it is, say you have a CD that you want feedback on, and you don't know where you can get feedback. One other thing that you can do is simply send in those songs to get feedback, and then you might have to spend a little bit of money, but then you get a good idea of where the project stands, what the strong points are, what the weaker points are, and then you can decide on whether you want to change something about it or not. That's one thing I really want to say, by the way. If you really plan to send the CD out for pro feedback, so you upload the songs and you apply them all for pro feedback, I would really recommend that you do not send finished and released material to them. Because if they might give you an insight that could improve your song, then it's a little bit a waste of money, because then they give you feedback but you've already released it, and you're not gonna take something down when it's already released. So keep in mind that if you really want feedback on that, and you want to get feedback because you want to know if the project is ready for release, then make sure that it's not released yet and send the material that isn't released, so you can make changes if you feel like they need to be made. The third thing that Audiu is good for, in my opinion, is networking. As you can see, I have 7 people in my network right now, and those people show up here. So you see their projects in your network. Now, say you are in a feedback stream and you like what that person is doing, what you can do is you can go to that person's profile. You can check it out, check some of their music there. But what you can also do is, I'm not going to do it now, but you can connect with that person. And then that person receives an invite. And if that person accepts, you both are connected. Now, why this might be important, let me give you an example. As I said, I make hip-hop and rap music. And then what I would do, if I like something that I heard from the feedback stream, which is hip-hop, and I like what that artist is doing, I'm going to comment on there, I'm going to rate it, and I'm going to send him an invite to connect. Say that I want to collaborate with that person down the road later. Then I can send him a message on Audiu asking him if he wants to collaborate. Or maybe I can send him a direct message and ask him to give feedback on my music. Or maybe that other person asks you to give feedback on their music. Or maybe you can get to know that person in a different way as well. Maybe you guys can start a conversation, talk about music, I don't know, talk about what you've done so far, talk about the people that they know. Maybe you can build up new connections through them. So that is one thing I would really use Audiu for too. All right, I think that actually covers about everything that I wanted to say. I really hope that this audio review helped you, and I really hope that you enjoy the platform, and I hope that I could give you a look into what it is, and I hope that you were able to make up your mind and see if audio is something for you. Also, I'd be more than happy to give you guys feedback on your music over on audio, and I'll accept most invites that I'll get in the next few months, because then I can see, that first of all, I want to connect with other people, and I want to give you guys an introduction to the platform. And if you need help getting feedback on your music, I'm here to help, because I genuinely love the platform and I really want to help grow this platform, and I want to spread word about it. Thank you for watching, and then I'll catch you guys later. Have a great day and be creative.